You know, some cities are built on steel and glass. They reach for the sky, almost like they're trying to prove their importance. But then there are a select few that, well, they just don't need to shout. Their influence is woven right into the fabric of our world, operating with this quiet, confident gravity that just pulls everything towards them. And for centuries, right at the center of that orbit has been London. So we're going to look past the famous landmarks today and really peel back the layers of a city that functions less like a place and more like a global operating system. And if you enjoy understanding how cities quietly shape our world, you're going to want to stay for this story. You see, London is a city that's long past the need to prove itself. Its identity isn't defined by one single skyline or some monument, but by the powerful and often invisible systems of culture, finance, and influence that just radiate from its core. This quote, right here, it really captures the essence of London's confidence. And that's not arrogance, by the way. It's just a statement of fact, one that's been born from centuries of setting the standard. The city has this unique kind of gravitational pull. So how does it do it? How does it sustain this quiet dominance? To really get London, we have to look at the machinery that's working just beneath the surface. Starting with the one thing that makes everything else possible: constant, reliable motion. The first pillar of London's global status, it isn't a grand palace or a shiny corporate tower. No, it's the constant rhythmic hum of its public transport network. This is the city's circulatory system. It's the lifeblood that allows millions of people, ideas, and ambitions to flow seamlessly every single day. The London Underground, or, the Tube, is just a marvel of engineering. It's a system that's steeped in history, one of the very first of its kind in the world. And yet, it operates with this relentless, modern efficiency that other cities can only dream of. It's that blend of heritage and high performance that makes it so incredible. And just think about the sheer scale of this operation for a second. We are talking about millions of individual journeys every single day. Every one of those is a person heading to a job, a student heading to a university, an artist to a gallery. And the system handles this immense load not just adequately, but with a kind of precision that becomes the reliable, invisible backbone of the city's entire economy. And that's really the key here. It's not about luxury. It's about reliability. See, any city can build a metro, but to create a system so deeply woven into the city's pulse that it just becomes an extension of daily life, well, that's the code that London cracked, and it's a blueprint others are still trying to follow. Okay, so if the transport network is the city's bloodstream, then its unrivaled cultural diversity, well, that's its soul. And this isn't about looking at statistics in some report. This is the lived, breathed, and tasted reality of the city's identity. I mean, just look at this. Over 300 languages are spoken every single day. That's incredible. And this isn't a melting pot where cultures just dissolve. It's more like a mosaic where all these distinct identities coexist and create something brand new. The city is literally a constant, living conversation between hundreds of different worlds. And you can experience this just by walking down a single street. You can start your culinary journey in South Asia with a perfect Pakistani biryani, walk a few steps into the heart of the Mediterranean for a Turkish kebab, cross the road for some truly authentic Italian pasta, and then finish it all off with classic British fish and chips. This isn't some special occasion, it's just lunch. And that really gets to the heart of it. In London, diversity isn't some policy initiative, it's the fundamental character of the place. The city has mastered the art of being a home for the world, making its global nature feel completely effortless. And that is a profound source of its resilience and its creative energy. Now, this brings us to a really radical idea, one that defines London's entire intellectual and cultural landscape. In a world where access to pretty much everything is being monetized, London stands by a different philosophy, that knowledge isn't a commodity, but a public right. Just consider these institutions for a moment. The British Museum, the National Gallery, the Science Museum. These aren't just buildings. They are treasure houses holding literally billions of dollars worth of human history, art, and discovery. They contain the story of humanity itself. So what do you think it costs to walk through those doors, to stand in front of the actual Rosetta Stone, or to gaze upon a Van Gogh, to see the very machines that sparked the Industrial Revolution? What's the price of admission to all that? The answer is nothing. It's free. And this is a deliberate, incredibly powerful statement. It says that your financial status should never be a barrier to your curiosity or your education.
This philosophy of open access fosters a culture of constant learning and innovation that you can feel across the entire city.
So let's explore how this culture of knowledge actually interacts with the city's physical form. Another one of London's great strengths is its unique fusion of ancient history and modern innovation. It's a city that wears its past not as some relic, but as a living blueprint for its future. And you see this contrast absolutely everywhere. In the morning, you could walk the grounds of a 1,000-year-old castle, the Tower of London, and by the afternoon, you could be in a meeting with an AI startup that's designing the next century. Ancient stone and shimmering glass, they don't just coexist here, they're in a constant dialogue with each other. This seamless blend is a unique and really powerful magnet. It attracts global investment from people looking for stability and a foundation to build the future on, and at the same time, it draws in millions of visitors who just want to connect with the past. The city proves you don't have to erase history to make way for progress. You can build directly on top of it. And this leads us to our final pillar. And really, it's the culmination of all the others. It's the source of London's most enduring power. It's subtle, it's pervasive, and it's quiet global influence. Now, this influence is incredibly widespread, yet it often operates without any loud promotion. In finance, its markets set global benchmarks. In law, English common law, this idea of law built on precedent, it forms the foundation for legal systems in countries from the United States to India. Its universities educate future world leaders, and its media houses set cultural trends that just ripple across the globe. Ultimately, London's influence often forms the invisible foundation that others build on. It provides the standards, the language, and the frameworks. It doesn't need to be the loudest voice in the room, because in so many ways, it helped build the room itself. And that's really what it all boils down to. When you combine an efficient system for movement, a population that represents the entire world, free access to knowledge, and a seamless blend of heritage and innovation, you don't just get a great city. You get a benchmark, a global standard. So how does a city lead for generations? Well, London's stories suggest an answer. By mastering that delicate, powerful balance between honoring its heritage and relentlessly driving progress, it's a city that's always complete, yet always evolving. If stories like this help you see the world more clearly, then like, subscribe, share, and do comment, because thoughtful stories grow through thoughtful people.